What's up, guys? So Gear 13 is absolutely everywhere now, and there's lots of variations of the Grievous Nuke starting to pop up, and I'm going to cover one of them in this video. In this one, I'm actually going to be focusing on the Imperial Probe Droid version, which is actually a video I covered back in April when Malak first appeared. However, there's been a couple of guys that have come along, Bulldog and Cador, that have actually helped fine-tune the turn order and made it considerably more successful. In this footage, we're going to be going up against a full Gear 13 team, and the Malak has over 200k combined health. I've actually got Grievous to a point where he'd be able to outspeed a 345 speed Darth Revan, which is crazy. Before anybody is like, oh, you're on a test server, it would make no difference whatsoever, because at 217 speed on my Grievous, I'd be able to outspeed the fastest Revan in the entire game, so it doesn't matter how you mod him or what lineup you would have, it would make no difference to this strategy. Speaking of mods, this video is being brought to you by Pimpo, your one-stop SWGOH mod service by the mod father himself. If you're one of the many players who doesn't understand mods or doesn't have the time or interest to sort them out, Pimpo can do it for you. He offers a full inventory cleanup, will level them and sort out your farming goals going forward. He'll also sort out loadouts for whatever game modes you want and gives you a big boost in your Grand Arena and Territory War performances. So it's time to gear up those droids. Let's do this! Okay, before I show the battles, we'll have a quick look at Grievous, and to outspeed a 345 Revan, we actually want Grievous at about 208 speed, which essentially makes him 346 under BB-8. This will allow you to outspeed 171 mod set speeded Revan, which is, as I said earlier, that's actually crazy to do that to a Gear 13 Revan. But it's crucial that we keep his crit chance at 72% under IG-88 lead. Lastly, we want his health as high as possible. You can see mine is actually very, very low. So I'm going to show you a slightly different way of doing the battle, because I'm not actually going to be able to take Malak out in one shot. If you have much higher health, around 100 and about 106k, and anything higher than that, you're going to go straight through Malak, and you're going to have an even easier time than I'm going to have. My test account actually has pretty trash mods, to be honest. My main account actually has better ones, so I've actually had to drop the health primary arrow in exchange for a speed one, just to be able to get the speed where I need it to get ahead of these really fast Revans. This is going to make it impossible for me to one-shot Malak. I'll still be able to one-shot Bastila because, well, she's Bastila and she's really not that tanky, no matter what you do to her health or anything. But Malak is just going to laugh at us attempting to take him out in one shot, and I've had people reach out to me saying they've tried the Probe Droid team and they're having this problem. How can they beat it still? And that's what I'm going to show you in this footage. Okay, the zetas that we're actually going to need for this, Probe Droids, his prevents buffs on a target lock character, so that's going to come in useful. Malak's not going to be able to taunt again as soon as we got target lock on him. T3's first unique is absolutely essential. We're going to get 8% additional critical damage per debuff on the enemy team, and that includes ferocity as well. Grievous unique is absolutely essential, that goes without saying. That's the one that grants us additional turns anytime our droid allies die. And lastly, IG-88 Zeta is going to be needed if your team isn't quite strong enough to take Malak out with the crawl attack, because what's going to happen there, Malak is then going to attack IG-88 and drain his health, and he's going to fully heal, and then we've got a big problem. But if our team isn't strong enough, we can throw the Zeta on IG-88, and that's actually going to prevent Malak healing when he goes and drains IG-88 afterwards. Then Grievous is going to be able to finish him off easily. So if your team is strong enough, if you manage to tick all those boxes of the health, the crit chance, and the speed on your Grievous mods, then you won't actually need this one, because you're going to kill Malak in one shot anyway. So this is just for those people that have reached out to me saying they're having a problem, they can't quite kill Malak with a crawl. This is what you do. Right, into the actual run, the first thing we're going to do is use the special of BB-8 followed by the special of IPD. Now what that's going to do is going to put target lock on the team, and whoever's got target lock now cannot gain buffs back. So preferably we want that on Malak, although it probably won't happen, and don't worry too much about it. We've also got an AoE coming straight up from IG-88, which will also put a target lock on anybody that's hit with a critical hit. So that's what we're really going to focus on his mods there, but I'll show you mods later on. Now T3 can come in with his second special and apply debuffs to everybody. If they're already target locked, which everybody is here, then they can't even resist these. So T3 is going to stack them everywhere and prime them perfectly for that massive 8% additional critical damage per debuff for Grievous. Now we're locked and loaded. Grievous is going to take out Bastila with one single shot. Okay, now they do their thing. Revan is immediately going to put fear onto BB because BB is taunting, and then whoever's next in their speed order is likely going to kill BB. Otherwise, we just kind of sit around and wait for somebody to die on our team, which is generally always BB. Then we're going to attack Malak with another crawl. As you can see, Malak has lived, and that's because we didn't quite check all of the boxes in regards to the mods on Grievous. If we were a little bit higher, he would have died here, and then we simply AoE the entire team out, and we've got an easy win on our hands. But because that hasn't happened, what's going to happen here is Malak is now going to drain IG-88, but due to his Zeta, he's not going to gain any of his health back. Now Trooper's going to do nothing with his attack, and the big shock is coming, which is going to put an additional 5 ferocity on all of Revan's team, allowing Grievous to do his AoE attack and wipe out everybody. It's worth noting that this team actually does work without having to have a Gear 12 IPD or having his Zeta. In fact, my buddy Cador managed to do it with a Gear 8 IPD without the Zeta, so that's pretty impressive. I recommend you check out his video if you want to see this. He admits it's a bit more dicey than this because the turn order is a bit different. Sometimes you end up with a little less debuff, so you can't quite get those kills early on, but the team does still work, so you can use it while developing IPD. Okay, so I explained how Grievous worked at the start of the video, how to mod him, how to get in front of those really quick Revans and stuff, but let me just briefly take you through the rest of the characters. With BB, speed is the main thing, so we can get his taunt off quickly with this move. I don't think he was very fast. Yeah, just plus 79, that's really not an impressive mod set if you're expecting to beat Gear 13 characters. And then briefly flicking through the mods, the key thing here is protection. We just want to keep him alive. I went protection on the arrow, although it's not really necessary. It just comes in a little bit handy. Protection again, protection again, protection again. It's all that really matters. We just want to keep him alive. So speed and health, that seems probably the best use in my opinion. Next up, we'll go to T3. Obviously here, he has to stay alive. T3 is the most important droid to keep alive. I can't stress this enough. If he dies, we lose those massive bonus critical damages that we're going to get from every single debuff. Once again, protection, 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 protection. We do not need potency on him. I've had people reach out to me and say, wow, should I put some potency on him? He needs to land those debuffs. No, this is why. If you read this move right here, target locked enemies cannot resist these debuffs. And everyone's going to be target locked due to IG-88 and Imperial Probe Droid being in the team. Next up, IG-88. Obviously, he's only really going to get one move before he dies. The Zeta is only going to be necessary if your team cannot one-shot Malak. And if, as I said, if your health's over 100k, generally he'll go down. You saw how close it was in mine with like 91k. I've gone for critical chance and potency. The reason is, with this bad boy here, it's the critical hits that trigger the target lock, not the potency. So we don't have to worry there, but the potency will help with the small chance we have of applying defense down or ability block. These are additional debuffs for an additional 8% critical damage, so may as well make the most of it. And lastly, Imperial Probe Droid. Here I've gone for some potency and some health. I don't think, what did I do? Yeah, speed arrow, then protection, likely. Oh, potency there, and protection there. We got to keep him alive. He's very easy to get to go second because he's very quick on base anyway. And this is the move we're actually using. As you can see, we've got a 75% chance to inflict target lock for 2 turns. So the higher his potency, the better. That's the reason we've gone for potency sets on him, and obviously a bit of health because we don't want everyone to die too quickly, just in case the turn order is slightly different and the kill order is a little bit different. You might want to weather a couple more attacks. So that's how I've done it. And they're really not impressive mod sets. They're really not impressive by any means. They're worse than on my main account. So hopefully that'll help you guys out when it comes to modding and actually using this team. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. It's awesome to be back. It feels like forever once again. I'm just so snowed under with work, and I'll explain all of that soon. I'm actually moving house and trying to build a new system. There's a lot going on. So yeah, I'm trying to like juggle work and content. But yeah, I really wanted to make this video because a lot of people reached out to me about how to make this work. And I make this work with a fairly substandard team in comparison to a lot of people. even with the inability to actually one-shot Malak, and that's often stressed as so important to make this work. And as I just showed, it's really not important as long as you have 88 Zeta, but if you don't have it, you really are going to want to one-shot Malak, or you're probably going to run into problems. Even if Probe Droid stays alive to self-destruct, it's not likely to kill him because he has like 200,000 health on generally all arena shards these days. So a big shout out to all my fans, all my patrons, all my subscribers, anyone that likes and shares the video. And until next time, we out of here.